can make your dream come true in this company. And so, you know, it's been, I've been with this company technically for 10 years now. And when I first started, you know, my mentor Andy always say, you know, think long term, think long term. You know, I was too young to really understand what think long term means until now. I'm in the company for 10 years, and we're looking to become a CEO team by the end of April. We just want one more assembly, we get CEO team by the end of April. So I'm very, very excited about that, right? But like I said, it's not about me here. I want to come up here and just introduce myself real quick, and I'm going to introduce to you or bring up this, you know, couple. They are, I would say, you can consider them like the captain of the WFG rocket, or they are the chief engineer, you know, of this ship that we have, which is World Financial Group. And he joined World Financial in 2010. And before he came to the World Financial Group, he was an agent helping family out in the field like many of us here. Besides, he also built his own agency and later merged with Transamerica Insurance and Investment Group, where he served as an executive there as well. So, you know, he got perspective from the field, also his perspective, you know, his experience from leading and building entrepreneurs and building companies. And from the day he came to this company, only very short, maybe about 4 years in this company, and he has transformed his company into one of the world-class companies. In terms of when we look at the compensation, how are you very happy of the money that you make right now compared to what you make in the past? Is that true, right? When you look at the technology, the technology, the compensation plan, the expansion, many offices that grow, right? Many promotions. When you look across the board, this couple, when they came to our company, they have shattered many records. They broke recruiting record, they broke production record, and we are just so excited right now, and we don't know what is next, what to expect next, because they are sort of dynamic, magnetic couple that are going to take our company to the even further and further. We are so happy and have a privilege on this Saturday afternoon, and both of them are here with us. So I want us to really give them a big welcome and a standing ovation to our CEO, President and CEO, Joe and Yvonne DeBoer.
This May, I'll celebrate 29 years in business. And the best part about being in the business for 29 years, I've also been married to Vaughn. And we have two great kids. We got a 22-year-old daughter and a 18-year-old son. And, I'm very blessed. And I would not be anywhere where I'm at today without my partnership with Vaughn. She is truly one individual that challenges me. And you know, when I start complaining, Andy, she's the first one to kick me in the butt. So I love her, and I would not be where I'm at today without her. And I'm glad she was able to join us today. So everybody have a great morning. I have a bit of a cold, so it's been so busy the last, really, I would tell you this year, there really wasn't much of a lull. I mean, when we rolled into the end of 2000, really, 13. And we look back now, and what a phenomenal accomplishment of a year, right? I mean, you just witnessed it highlighted on that video. But I would tell you that the momentum that we had that closed out our year really did not stop. I think January, as we move through the month of January, we see an equally impressive number coming from recruiting, net points, and everything that made last year such a great year. So, first of all, I know you're here to, you're recognizing your accomplishments from last year. I would tell you that congratulations. When I look back over the year, and there are so many things to focus on. We're going to go through a few of those. But what I would tell you that I'd like to do today is talk a little bit about, where we ended up the year last year, and some real important numbers that I want us to focus on. And then, more importantly, I want to talk a little bit about people, and then obviously the platform and where I think we're going. But before I do that, when I had the privilege of coming to World Financial Group, and can they see the? And I can't see that. And this is kind of the morning I had. I got in late last night from another meeting, and I was driving to the airport this morning, and I took the wrong exit. And I just sat down and I turned my iPad on, and it says my iPad is not functioning. I mean, I was just going to say, where's the technician guru at? But as long as you got the presentation up, we're good. But what I would say is, looking back, one of the things that day one walking in here, and the privilege to come into WFG, in the one area, our most valuable asset we have is human capital. Bar none, I think we've got the greatest leaders, we've got the greatest associate base. Our people power and couple power, females. I mean, I would tell you that if you're sitting here today, I want to hit this head on. And I'm kind of bouncing around a bit. How many people are sitting here for the first time at an event like this? Would you please stand up? Stand up. And let me share something with you. Those of you that just stood up that happen to be females. And I'm going to say this, the women that we have that are associates with WFG, some of those associates are licensed, some are not. Some are very active in the leadership of the business, some are very active in the support of the business. But when I look at our licensed associates that are very active in the business, let me tell you something. I believe WFG and the women of WFG are the most powerful advisors with some of the highest level of expertise and success in the financial service industry. So, I mentioned I've been in the business for 29 years, and most of those years I was on your side of the fence. I had a chance to build an agency. I had a chance to be inside the industry for many years. And that industry that I came from, you had successful females in that brokerage world. But when I looked at the numbers and I looked at the results that we get at WFG, I'm going to tell you, if you're sitting here today and you want to know where women could win in a big way, helping themselves and their families, and then going out and helping others, you're sitting at the right place at the right time. Now, let me just tell you something. You're blessed because your leadership here and the people that have put this together are some of our finest female advisors, some of our most dynamic support roles when we look at these dynamic teams. So I hope that when you're sitting here, that when you look at people like an Andy and a Lynn, or a Mickey and a Lynn, or I'm going to make sure I get it right, Huang, Yang, and Lucy. When you look at Hong Dai and CC and Payan and Eileen, let me just say something. leadership. And if I were you, I'd be a sponge. And I tell you what, I would really take note of how they go about their day, how they go about their business, how they go about their relationships, how they go about the care of their organization, how they build leaders, how they set examples, how they make commitments. All those things that we look at across our organization, you're very fortunate because you've got this leadership in front of you. And I sure hope that you, one, take a minute and appreciate it and say thank you. And the other bit of advice I would give you is sure get to know them and pull from them and take some bits and pieces of what has made them dynamic in our organization and take it home and put it in bank. So I'd like to just, first of all, have this group stand up, and I think we need to give them a real round of applause. You know, Andy was just sharing with me, we're setting some trends, aren't we? You guys are sold out here. Some of the team that was going to be in this room is over in the other location, right? Because you had oversold this room. Way to go. We got the same problems in Las Vegas next year. We may have to get 3 big grand arenas to hold our convention for next year. So nice job. Way to fill up the room. You know, that's one way of really counting success, right? It's results of people that we're growing with. So, I would say that, and I'm going to kind of advance that now. I got to make sure I get the slide on. There's no way to get that slide up here? Okay. What does that say over there, you guys? I just want to make sure. Okay, so I'm going to give you some highlights that we'll go through. You'll see some of those up there. Let's look back quickly. And I say quickly. Our accomplishments in 2013 were just so impressive. And I think the one thing that I look at that I was most proud of is we brought just under 97,000 associates in North America to WSG last year. Is that incredible? You know, some of the things I look at is for the first time, we had an 8% increase in net licenses in North America. That was phenomenal. We're finally now getting to a point where we're increasing our licenses, and I'll talk a little bit about that in just a moment. But more importantly, we're retaining a lot of great leaders. We're retaining the right individuals that have a chance to win. And I would also say that we are really stepping up to a level where I hope one thing that you walk away with today, I hope you walk away, and even if you're here, sitting here for the first time, I hope you really understand how big of a business this is. And I have the pleasure on a daily basis, because about 10% of my time, as much as 20% of my time, I deal with corporate issues with Transamerica and Aegon. And if you don't know who Aegon is it's a Dutch company that owns Transamerica, and WFG is a division of Transamerica. Aegon is a $45 billion global financial leader. And I would tell you that when you look at Transamerica, the way the divisions are isolated, WFG has its own division within Transamerica Life and Protection. You keep in mind, Transamerica Life and Protection accounts for about 45% of the revenue that rolls up to Aegon. It's substantial. Let me share something with you. Our life insurance goal last year was $1.3 billion of premium as an entire organization, Global Life. That was our premium goal for 2013. And it was a pretty bold goal. And I have to be brutally honest with you. We were a little short of that goal. But I tell you, when I look at WFG and your accomplishments last year, let me just round out a few of the areas that made it one of the most dynamic years we've ever had. For the first time in the history of the organization, and I saw Frank DeVito when I just walked in, we put in force over 100 million. We know we did about 50 million of target premium. These are all standardized target premium that the industry measures. 50 million with Nationwide, 30 million Pac Life, and 70 million with Transamerica Life of Canada and Equitable Life of Canada up in Canada. So when you think about last year, we just did a smidge less than $300 million of premium in 1 year as a collective group with our collective company, with Life Insurance. There's not a lot of marketing organizations. There's not a lot of businesses in today's environment that are getting those kind of results. And you know, one thing that I always remind myself when I look at how much life insurance gets positioned, and I'll talk about that in a minute, with this organization, is last year collectively we paid out $3.6 billion in life insurance claims in North America. $3.6 billion went out to families in the time of need and made sure that kids were taken care of, and college gets paid, and food gets put on table, and shoes get put on feet, and businesses stay open, and dreams live on of what you did. And at the same time, we gather about $1.4 to $1.6 million a day in assets that people trust us to put in flow for them for things like retirement and pensions. So think about that. Think about what a big business you're in. The other thing I would tell you is on top of that, we're paying out over $1 million a day in long-term care benefits as an organization. You want me to blow you away? You know, we pay out over $1 million a day in commissions just to WFG associates.